realized that I don't need any of that anymore. It doesn't do anything for me. It didn't taste as good as it normally would. So
Right.
it's just like, yeah, I wouldn't want to say it.
Oh, hey there. You came right on time.
Great. That's what I like to hear. I gave it to somebody else, though. And they really liked watermelon juice. So. That's good.
Oh, wonderful.
I never would have done that before. I would have drank it in a second. Very happily.
Well, now we're about to talk about, since we're working on our physical bodies, the average person don't know that their physical bodies is their consciousness. But this is very important, because if you're working on a physical body opening up, it's crucial how you think now. Because everybody's creating their reality. So if you're thinking negative still and fearful, you're going to create negative and fearful situations very, very fast. Very fast, right?
That scares me.
That's something, ain't it? But the good thing about it, if you're doing the energy work and meditation, if the body is what? Channeling in more higher vibration, it will automatically break off the fear and negativity. Is that something right there? That's helping you. Mm-hmm. So it goes hand in hand. So that's why they got a thing in the medical profession called mental health. But they kind of made that up. Why would we say that? If there's a mental issue, that means there's a physical issue. But they're not saying that. And if there's a physical issue, there's a mental issue. But they broke it in two different branches so they can what?
You guys walked for an hour, right?
We did all types of stuff. You can do what you got to do. But we understand in this holistic path that they're one and the same. So that's what makes the difference on the Breatharian path. The more you work with your physical body, the more you bring it on the mind of God, what we was talking about, or an extended consciousness. And the more you change your thoughts, it will work on the physical body. You can change your physical body just by thinking positive, just by thinking healthy. That's something there. That's how powerful it is. So now we're going to go into mental fasting. Remember I told y'all that this morning? Mental fasting is a lot more harder to do than physical fasting. And on the Breatharian path, as soon as people hear it, guess what they start doing? Physical fasting, act like that's going to make them a Breatharian. They put tape on their mouth, I'm not eating no more. But the thoughts, they don't understand that that's where the ball game is at. Because the mental mind is a vehicle that's creating your reality. So if it's that powerful, it only makes sense that you should master the way you think. You master the way you think, you're going to live a good, healthy life. And you can live forever. We might as well go there. Because you ain't thinking no negativity about death, sickness. You ain't even thinking about doing nothing wrong. Not when you got healthy thinking. When you got healthy thinking, you ain't thinking certain things that other people think. You ain't even catering to that frequency. That's a healthy thought process. That's what nature wants. That's what it supports. They don't support a negative thought process like that. They're going to keep it around. It cleans itself. So therefore, we're going to read mental fasting. You ready to read? You got it? You know how to see it? Yeah, you know how to work that cell phone.
The 7-day mental diet.
The 7-day mental diet. Now, it's called the 7-day mental diet. And the only reason why they give you 7 days, it's harder than physical fasting. So therefore, even though people will go into it for 7 days, it might last for 3 months or more. Because as soon as you mess up, you got to go back and do it again. That's wild, ain't it? But your thoughts are so connected to your reality. This meditation is so powerful, this fasting. As soon as you start making changes with your thoughts, it will start changing things around in your reality. That quick. That's how much we connected to it. Now listen to what they're going to say. He's going to explain it to you step by step. You ready? All right.
Dr. Emmett Fox was a New Thought teacher, author, healer, and minister. His aim in life was to encourage all people within and without the church to know God and to develop their God-like attributes.
Now listen at this. He would try to develop people to know God and their God-like attributes. Now back there, you probably would say, oh, that was just religious. But what we read last night, that's not, is it? He would try to teach people principles to think positive so they can know God. All right, let's go with it.
He said, When that happens, your life becomes simple, richer, and infinitely more worthwhile. He taught and encouraged millions of people around the globe with his golden keys of health, inner peace, and success books and pamphlets. The subject of diet is one of the foremost topics of the present day in the public interest.
So he said the subject of diet is one of the biggest things, basically, that's happening today. Now, isn't it? We got Google and the internet, and everybody is on some type of diet change. The keto diet, whatever you call it.
Keto.
Yeah, the keto diet and all these other diets and rice diets and bean diets, live and raw food diets, fruit diets, urine diets. Everybody on some diet. So that's the big thing today.
Yeah.
Big, ain't it?
Super big.
So everybody got it now. They try to get the memo, but keep reading.
Newspapers and magazines teem with articles on the subject. The counters of the bookshops are filled with volumes unfolding the mysteries of proteins, starches, vitamins, and so forth. The whole
Protein, starches, right. Millions of books talking about it. And vegetarianism, it used to get beat on, but now they got thousands of books on the subject. So that's why when we came into Breatharianism, we had to talk back in 2015. I was talking to one famous Breatharian, and they said, now it's our chance to start a lot of books dealing with Breatharianism. So right now, we're sitting with the most knowledge that ever been around dealing with being food-free. Books, videos, and it ain't going to stop. There's going to be more and more coming. Y'all going to be writing some. Watch.
I was just thinking that.
Yep.
I'm going to go home and start writing.
Because you just got finished dealing with that energy. You feel it now, don't
How to
you?
be food free.
Absolutely. How to be food-free. Because all of y'all on a path. So that's y'all's job. All right, let's roll.
The whole world is food conscious.
Now listen to that. He said the whole world is food conscious. Don't think they ain't. See, we was trying to put it down because we was looking at it. Everybody's food conscious. They got the memo. I got a relative who know he got a bad diet. Know his health is bad. But he said to me he's going to enjoy himself eating because he love to eat. So it ain't nothing new to you say you need to lose weight. He'll look at you and say, well, tell me something I don't know. We know we got it. All right, let's roll.
Experts on the subject are saying that physically, you become the thing that you eat. That your whole body is really composed of the food that you have eaten in the past.
Now, everybody got that memo. You are what you eat. You ain't got to argue with people no more. Everybody know that. All right, let's roll.
What you eat today, they say, will be in your bloodstream after the lapse of so many hours, and it is your bloodstream that builds all the tissues composing your body, and there you are.
We all know that now. You are what you eat, so therefore it goes into your bloodstream, and it's going to be there for a while. So if you're eating dense foods like meat, lard, starch, grease, of course it's going to show up on you. You smell like it. It's all in your pores. Absolutely. Everybody got the memo. All right, let's read it.
Of course, no sensible person has any quarrel with all this.
No sensible person won't even argue against it.
It is perfectly true as far as it goes, and the only surprising thing is that it has taken the world so long to find it out.
It took them a long time, but they got it. So we're in a good age. You do not have to argue about diet. Everybody got the memo.
But in this article, I am going to deal with the subject of dieting at a level that is infinitely more profound and far-reaching in its effects.
He's taking you to another level of a diet. Now, people got the food part, all right? But they don't believe, a lot of people don't, that their mind is creating their reality. They blaming other people, blaming the system, blaming other things, blaming. But they don't have nothing to do with their thought process. That's what they're at right now. So he's about to take us to mental fasting. And you got to know this being on a breatharian path if you want to what? Recreate yourself in your life. Other than that, it ain't going to happen. You're a negative thinking person. How is you going to be sustained by the forces? The only thing you're going to create is what? More chicken in front of you. Because you fearful and what? Negative. A bad reality, stressful reality. A breatharian don't live in no stressful life. That don't even make sense. All right, let's roll.
I refer, of course, to mental dieting.
Mental dieting. Here we go.
The most important of all factors in your life is the mental diet on which you live. It is the food which you furnish to your mind that determines the whole character of your life. It is the thoughts you allow yourself to think, the subjects that you allow your mind to dwell upon, which make you and your surroundings what they are.
Wow. So in other words, that sounds familiar, don't it? On the Breatharian knowledge, what do I tell people? You are a biocomputer. The program that's in you and how you've been educated, that's the printout that you're giving off. That's basically what he said, ain't it? It's building the whole character of your life, how you act, your income, the way you look, your health, your friends. It's all dealing with your thought process. You're a program. And the only way to change the program, you got to get a new program. All right, let's roll with it.
As thy days, so shall thy strength be. Everything in your life today, the state of your body, whether healthy or sick, the state of your fortune, whether prosperous or impoverished, the state of your home, whether happy or the reverse, the present condition of every phase of your life, in fact, is entirely conditioned by the thoughts and feelings which you have entertained in the past, by the habitual tone of your past thinking.
Whoa! Of your past thinking. Why would he say your past thinking and not your future thinking? Because when you wake up in the morning, you start going over what just happened in the past. That's what you start bringing it back forward. You think more about the past than you do the future. That's how you design. You think about what happened last night before you went to bed. What happened yesterday? What are you doing now? What car payment you got to do? What bills you got to catch up with? Right. That's what kind of life you living. And he's saying it's setting the whole tone of your life right now, whether your health is good or bad or dealing with your fortune. That's how you're thinking. You're a computer. All right, let's roll.
And the condition of your life tomorrow and next week and next year will be entirely conditioned by the thoughts and feelings which you choose to entertain from now onwards.
So that means the way you're thinking right now is dictating your future. Ain't that what he's saying? Or did I say it wrong? Mm-hmm. The way you're thinking now, if you're comfortable with your program, you might as well get ready to live that same thing next year. So if you're struggling right now and ain't going to get a new program, that's what it is. And if you talking about being on the Breatharian levels, and if you don't correct that thinking, it ain't going to happen. That's why people will say, what? How long would it take for me to to be a Breatharian? Well, what is your thinking? How's you thinking right now? That's going to determine where you're going. That's where it's at. So that's why I see people all the time. They can't even, not eating is one thing, but they can't even stick with a regular diet. They can't even leave meat alone. They can't even go lighter. They can't even stop binge eating and can't stop. So how's you going to be food free? That's dealing with a thought process from your past. It ain't going to happen. We might as well be realistic with it now. I know it's a heartbreaker. Mm-hmm. Until you correct the thought process. Let's roll with it.
In other words, you choose your life. That is to say, you choose all the conditions of your life when you choose the thoughts upon which you allow your mind to dwell.
So you choose your life. He basically saying you're a God, huh? In so many words, he was a Christian, Emmett Fox. He was just in the church. But everybody is saying the same universal message. Some just come boldly with it. But he just said, due to your thought process, you're creating everything in your reality. Here we go. Man.
Thought is the real causative force in life, and there is no other.
No other. Thought is the real. Now, what do thoughts sound like? Remember, Thoth from Egypt.
Yes.
I told you it represents thought.
Yeah.
Thought is the real causative force in life. That's why some people see like they go places, everything just fall in their favor. It's due to their thought because they're positive. We all met those people, haven't you?
I am one of those people.
You are one of those people. I'm one of those people.
I know.
How the only time pull that off? Due to my thinking. That's the real causative force in life. All right, let's roll.
You cannot have one kind of mind and another kind of environment.
Oh, say that one more time.
You cannot have one kind of mind and another kind of environment.
And another kind of environment. I know people walk around all the time talk about they're a nice person. But if you're a nice person, why is your environment hostile? Why is people treating you mean? Because you're a mean person. It's a mirror reflection. They is hiding behind it. But the mind is already telling them. All right, let's roll.
This means that you cannot change your environment while leaving your mind unchanged.
You cannot change your environment without leaving your mind unchanged. That's why they got that old saying. You can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. That's some serious stuff, ain't it? See, I had to get a whole new mind because I was trying to get off of soul food. Stuck in it. So it don't matter where I went on the planet, I was a soul food because it was in me, the program. But once I brought on a new mind, every environment I go to now is a breatharian environment. It don't matter if I'm here in America, Africa, Europe, China, it don't matter. But my mind changed. That's why I see I'm in a breatharian world. It's thinking differently. So without that mind change, everywhere you go, it's going to follow you on your way you thinking. All right, let's roll.
Nor, and this is the supreme key to life, and the reason for this article, can you change your mind without your environment changing too.
So, that is the deep. Now say that one more time.
Nor, and this is the supreme key to life.
The supreme key to life. You got to get this one if you want to change.
And the reason for this article. Can you change your mind without your environment changing too?
Can you change your mind without your environment changing too? That's one of the Hermetic laws. If we're talking about raising your vibration, your atmosphere have to raise its vibration. Your environment. It all goes hand in hand. There's no way in the world you're going to be holy in an unholy environment. That don't even make sense. That's why I see people all the time in religion talk about they trying to change their neighborhood. You ain't going to change the neighborhood. Your vibration is low. That's why the vibration is low in the neighborhood. And the only escape route they got is let me go feed the people. Act like that's doing something good for the Lord. That's the only thing you can resort to. And they feeding them bad food anyway. That's what they doing. It ain't changing nothing. And then you worried about your children in the hood. That's why they call it the hood what now? You know why they call it the hood? It used to be neighborhood. Ain't no neighbors no more. It's just the hood. The people got destroyed. It's a consciousness. Oh, here we go. Let's keep reading.
This then is the real key to life. If you change your mind, your conditions must change too.
If you change your mind, your conditions must change too. So even when you're dealing with your fullness of your life, and we talk about the Breatharian message is a holistic lifestyle. Everything must be in check down the line. So, but it only can get in check if you change your thinking. You can fast till you blue in the face. That don't mean nothing. You can eat carrots till you blue in the face. All you're going to do is be a devil eating carrots. That's all it is. We got to change our mind. That's the real causative force.
Your body must change.
Your body must change just off of thinking. All right, let's roll.
Your daily work or other activities must change.
Your daily work and activities was changed. When I started to grow in the Breatharian knowledge, my job couldn't contain me no more. What was I going to work 8 hours for and I don't need it? I changed. I couldn't be there no more.
Makes sense.
Stuck in a building for 8 hours and I should be out in the sun. That ain't even make sense, did it? I had to go be nourished somewhere else. That wasn't going to nourish me. It was killing me. They even said, we'll give you a raise if you stay. I ain't going to do it. You'll kill me. I ain't going to save my soul to the devil. Let's go.
Your home must change.
Your home must change. Here we go.
The color tone of your whole life must change.
The color tone of your whole life must change. Some people call me a nomad now. Yeah, I'm a nomad. You know why? The whole world is my home. That's what happens when you become a breatharian. One place can't contain you no more. Here we go. Let's go for it.
For whether you be habitually happy and cheerful, or low-spirited and fearful, depends entirely on the quality of the mental food upon which you diet yourself.
There we go. And I've been with people. Hell is a consciousness. That's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with going up under the ground. It's a consciousness. I had a friend of mine, and it was sad too. They was traveling with me in India. We had it made, the places we was going to. They had something to cry about everywhere we went. I had to get rid of them. I did. I had to drop them off after a while. And it had nothing to do with being mean with them. You bringing down the vibration. Nobody can make you happy. You in hell. That's what it was. It's a thought. And I'm sitting there having a time of my life. It was a thought. Why wouldn't you be happy? All right, let's roll.
Please be very clear about this. If you change your mind, your conditions must change too.
If you change your mind, your conditions must change. So that's why we were doing that lesson last night about the human being has the power to contemplate the universe, which is God, and become one with it. And there's no negativity in that whatsoever. Let's roll with it.
We are transformed by the renewing of our mind.
Ain't that a scripture? We are transformed by the renewing of our mind. Money ain't going to transform you. New clothes, a new car, a new house. If your mind is still the same, you ain't doing a hill of beans. All right, let's roll.
So now you will see that your mental diet is really the most important thing in your whole life.
So your mental diet is the most important thing in your life. That's it. Let's roll.
This may be called the great cosmic law, and its truth is seen to be perfectly obvious when once it is clearly stated in this way.
That's why you got all these speakers coming out now. They came out with that thing, The Secret. You know, change your mind, change your life. They're telling the truth, but it's a half-truth. You know what I mean? They ain't going to give it to you all.
Yeah.
They're telling the truth that if you change your mind, you know, and everybody's stuck in materialism. Don't you want a big house? Don't you want a car? So that catches people's attention. All you got to think it and believe and all this other mess. But why ain't everybody doing it? Because their vibration is still low. They got a low vibration. They don't understand that their body is their mind. This is what the breatharian knowledge is telling you. If you put down the chicken, you might get another house. Now here we go. All right. Oh man, did I say that?
Put it on the chicken, huh?
Yep. Right. Let's roll.
In fact, I do not know of any thoughtful person who denies its essential truth. The practical difficulty in applying it, however, arises from the fact that our thoughts are so close to us that it is difficult, without a little practice, to stand back, as it were, and look at them objectively.
Now look at it. Look at that. Our thoughts are so close to us. So even though a person can catch it, okay, I do need to change my thinking, but it's difficult because it's so close to us. And everybody do have that negative voice inside of us. It over-highlights stuff. It does. That could be a letter in the mail, you know, and your mind is telling you, see, it's another bill. You know, and I mean, it got you all sweating. The boss at work want to talk to you. You think something is bad. That's what your mind does. Somebody look at you a certain way. Your mind is telling you what they think, and they don't even know. And like I tell people all the time, I was living in this apartment by myself, and people thought I lived with somebody else because I was arguing with myself, talking with my own mind. That's what it was about. It was a battle. That's the battle of Armageddon. That's it right there. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody externally. It was with my own mind. And when I conquered my mind, that's when my life changed. All it is a thought away. All right, let's roll.
Yet that is just what you must learn to do. You must train yourself to choose the subject of your thinking at any given time, and also to choose the emotional tone, or what we call the mood, that colors it.
That's powerful, ain't it? And it's just that real. I'm about to run up north, and then I'm going to India. I'm going to be all over India. You know why? Because I'm already thinking it. That's my family. When I run to the next country, Israel and all that, it's my family. Why wouldn't it be? We talking about the unity frequency, right? That's a thought process. I had to train myself to think like that. So everywhere I go, everybody is me. Y'all me. I wouldn't even be here if y'all didn't come. I wouldn't have nobody to talk to.
You were just being Athena's, yo, check.
That's the only thing it'll be, right? I'll be talking to myself, which I am talking to myself. I drew myself to me. That's what it's all about. But it's a thought again. But ain't that when we talk about frequency and vibration? When you holding a certain vibration, you drawing those people to me. That's why everywhere I go, I draw those people to me. That's what's happening. All right, let's roll.
Yes, you can choose your moods. Indeed, if you could not, you would have no real control over your life at all.
You can change your moods. There's some people act like you can't change the mood.
They're trapped
They're trapped
in their mood.
in the mood. Wow. That's something, ain't it? Somebody could blow your high just from come talking negative. That's why you got to get rid of those people. I had a good friend one time. They was cool. They just talk negative all the time. I had to quit that relationship because they made me tired. They couldn't stop it. They couldn't help it. They did it so much they could not understand. And you had to lead to protect yourself.
Amen.
That's what's happening because you know how they say, and this usually happen to people in religion a lot. There's usually be, and I ain't picking on women, but they always think they could go change a man. You know, even though he ain't in the structure, I think I could change him. So it's sort of like the saying, you know, this beautiful parrot that can sing is going to go teach this crow how to sing, right? But when it get to the crow teach the parrot how to crow. So they come back changed. Instead of going changing somebody else. You can't change nobody else. You got to change yourself. And you'll bring that vibration to you. Don't worry about going changing somebody else like they got to go to your vibration. It don't work like that. If they don't want to, they don't have to. You keep them right there. I just told somebody not too long ago. We was kind of having a discussion, but when I figured out that they wasn't changing their vibration, it was okay. I accepted them. You stay right there. I'll take care of the rest of this. There ain't no reason for me to be there. All right, let's roll with it.
Moods habitually entertained produce the characteristic disposition of the person concerned, and it is his disposition that finally makes or mars a person's happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep reading.
You cannot be healthy, you cannot be happy, you cannot be prosperous if you have a bad disposition.
Oh, man. Did they just say that? They put health, happiness, and wealth all in the same category, and they say you cannot if you got a bad disposition. I know some people argue with me. I know people that got money, there's, you know, got a bad disposition, but they ain't happy. So they ain't wealthy then. They ain't got no money. They can't even enjoy it.
It's just an illusion.
It's an illusion. Don't fall for it. Just because they showed you lifestyles of the rich and famous on TV. Don't you know they got to get ready for each scene? All right, y'all ready? Go. All right, cut. And they do the cutting. After that, they argue and going somewhere else. That ain't no real reality TV. All right, let's roll.
If you are sulky or surly or cynical or depressed or superior or frightened half out of your wits, your life cannot possibly be worth living.
Whoa, your life can't possibly. That's why when we talk about physical immortality, everybody ain't gonna get this message because they hate their life because they got a bad thought process. And it got nothing to do with the knowledge or the education. Some people can't see breatharianism because they live miserable. They don't want to be healthy because they think that it's going to stay like that. They want to die. That's wild, ain't it? They committing suicide. Slow suicide. That's why they don't want to believe it. All right, let's roll.
Unless you are determined to cultivate a good disposition, you may as well give up all hope of getting anything worthwhile out of life. And it is kinder to tell you very plainly that this is the case.
Don't that sound like hell?
Uh-huh.
That's what it is.
Fiery pits of hell.
It's a thought process. And the Pope said that one time, not this Pope, but it was one of the Popes that came up, and he said, hell is not a place or a location. It is a state of mind. And guess what? A lot of people got mad at him. Churches did. Now, why they get mad at him? They said, because you took a weapon from us. They used to use that as a weapon for the people. If you don't act good, you're going to go burn somewhere else. And it had nothing to do with that. They was already burning in hell due to their thought process. That's why it's a weapon. All right, let's roll.
If you are not determined to start in now and carefully select all day the kinds of thoughts that you are going to think, you may as well give up all hope of shaping your life into the kind of thing that you want it to be, because this is the only way.
Wow. He said, carefully choose your thoughts. See, that's why this mental fasting is the toughest, ain't it? And I admit, when I first started, I was like, ain't no way in the world I could do that. And I tried to do the 7 days, and it lasted for months, if not years.
It's still going.
Oh, I'm cool now. I got everything under subjection. My life is going, I'm in heaven. I done crossed over. I don't have no bad situations. Everything just fall to my feet. Now, when I say that, people say, you egotistical. No, it ain't. I put the work in to work on my thoughts. It ain't had nothing to do with the physical body. All right, let's roll with it.
In short, if you want to make your life happy and worthwhile, which is what God wishes you to make it,
Which God wishes you to make it. Here we go. Now, why would God wish that? Because you connected to the God mind. When you get to God mind, y'all become one. Other than that, God ain't in the house. That's something else. That's another creation, an abomination. That's why you getting up out of here. All right, let's roll.
you must begin immediately to train yourself in the habit of thought selection and thought control.
Immediately for thought selection and thought control. That's a workout, ain't it? Woo! Let's roll with it.
This will be exceedingly difficult for the first few days.
It's going to be difficult for the first few days. He ain't saying it was going to be easy. Everybody got to deal with it. If you're going to change your thoughts, all right, let's roll.
But if you persevere, you will find out that it will become rapidly easier, and it is actually the most interesting experiment that you could possibly make.
And look how he put an experiment. We're not trying to be hard on nobody. You got to go see for yourself. Experiment with your thoughts. And he'll say it'd be a worthwhile adventure, basically, what you start seeing, how powerful your thoughts is to change certain things in your life. All right, let's roll.
In fact, this thought control is the most thrillingly interesting hobby that anyone could take up.
He called it a hobby. See, that's why we read the Hermetica last night. He said the spiritual path is fun. He ain't say it's difficult, so he calling it a hobby. Yes, it seemed difficult when you first start out on it, but you can accomplish it. You're designed to win. All right, let's roll.
You will be amazed at the interesting things that you will learn about yourself, and you will get results almost from the beginning.
You'll get results almost from the beginning. Ain't that something? Just wake up smiling. We even got those sayings, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You already started the day off wrong. All right, let's roll.
Now, many people knowing this truth make sporadic efforts from time to time to control their thoughts, but the thought stream being so close, as I have pointed out, and the impacts from outside so constant and varied, they do not make very much progress.
They don't make very much progress. All right, let's roll.
That is not the way to work.
And that's what, now stop right there. Let's take the Breatharian process. There's thousands, if not beyond thousands of people who've been to retreats and did all these other things. And why do you think some people's able to make the transition, a small portion, but the other ones can't? But they don't understand the thought process behind it. That's where it's at. They just putting tape on their mouths, talking about if I sit it out, this is what's going to happen. Right, that's what's happening. And people die behind it too. I'm like, how did they die? They figured if they sit it out, God is going to come pick them up.
No, he picked him up for sure.
He picked them up too. He took them right up out of their body. All right, let's roll.
Your only chance is definitely to form a new habit of thought, which will carry you through when you are preoccupied or off your guard, as well as when you are consciously attending to the business.
Right, there you go. Dealing with that thought, Thoth. So Thoth ain't mythical no more. Everybody got the spirit of Thoth, which is the thought process that the human being was given as a divine power. All right, let's roll.
This new thought habit must be definitely acquired, and the foundation of it can be laid within a few days.
Oh, in a few days you can lay the foundation. See, if the foundation ain't strong, the house ain't gonna last. So that's why people ain't able to make transitions on anything in life. But if you get you a strong foundation and build up from there and take your time, you can be successful. Ain't that what he's saying? Let's roll with it. Thoughts ain't that hard. We just make it hard. Wait a minute. Thoughts is the first thing of physical matter. Remember you told me that, Jerome? Or was it you that told me that? It's the first phase of physical matter. They're tangible. Oh, here we go. Let's roll.
The way to do this is make up your mind to devote 1 week solely to the task of building a new habit of thought. And during that week, let everything in life be unimportant as compared with that.
All right, stop right there for a minute. So now he's going to lay it out on this exercise, how to start working with your thought process and do mental fasting. So he basically saying lay 1 week out for your life, all right? And just like physical fasting, don't pick no week that's going to be stressful. It ain't the week you got to go see your mother-in-law and all this old stuff and all this, pick a week where you ain't going to be so stressed out. Because mental fasting is tougher than physical fasting. All right? You might have to take a vacation from work just to do with this one. Right? People are working on your nerves. All right, go ahead.
If you will do so, then that week will be the most significant week in your whole life.
That's going to be the most significant week in your whole life to deal one-on-one with your own thought process. So let's roll with it.
It will literally be the turning point for you.
It's going to be the turning point for you. Your life, because what we was reading earlier, it's impossible to change your environment if your thought process don't change. But if your thought process change, it has the power to change your environment. Let's go.
If you will do so, it is safe to say that your whole life will change for the better.
Your whole life going to change for the better. That's something, ain't it? I'm living life as a dream right now because my thoughts changed. That's why when I go and say I'm a God, people get upset, but they don't know I'm talking about my consciousness. And everybody got the power to do it. You got the power to contemplate on the cosmos. You got the power to keep universal laws. Learn them, even though they seem invisible. And you got a body to monitor, and there's no way in the world it should break down and get away from you. The body makes a good servant, but a bad master. You got to put your everything in check through your thoughts. Let's roll.
In fact, nothing can possibly remain the same.
Nothing can remain the same. So you remember we started out yesterday? God must be an idea. It ain't far-fetched no more, is it? So if you get that idea of the higher vibration, God is walking on the earth. Why is that far-fetched? We call somebody a devil when they're doing wrong, don't we? Easy.
Quick.
But we talk about raise your vibration, raise your vibration. Well, if you get a high vibration, who is that? There it is, ding. That's why I ain't backing down from my identity. You dang all right. I'm God Elitom El-Amin in this season. All right, let's roll.
This does not simply mean that you will be able to face your present difficulties in a better spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It means that the difficulties will go.
Dang.
Whoa, they made it plain, didn't
You
it?
ain't even got a battle no more.
You ain't even got to fight no more. Don't the scripture say God will fight your battles for you? That means that vibration of an idea will fight the things for you. You're connected to it. That's who you are. That's why nothing will harm you. I haven't caught a cold in 20 years. That's a vibration of a frequency. That's all it is. You got to get sick. No, you don't. That's a vibration, a thought process. Let's roll with it. That's why we talking to immortals. We the immortals out here now. We on the scene. God walking the earth. Gods. All right, let's roll.
This is the scientific way to alter your life.
This is the scientific way. That's a science. See, we think science is just somebody with a white lab coat on mixing up some little juices. That's child's play. Working with some chemicals in a lab and we act like that's high credited. We working straight with the force. We the Jedi. Let's go ahead with it.
And being in accordance with the great law, it cannot fail.
It cannot fail. This is a science. The high vibration has the power, that's in the Hermetic laws, to take out a low vibration. So I know what people talk about, I just can't be around low vibrations. What low vibration? I don't even see a low vibration. When I come, I'm changing everything up in there. Because I'm the high vibration. That's how we roll it. All right, come on.
Now, do you realize that by working in this way, you do not have to change conditions?
You don't even have to change conditions by working in that way. This is how you change the world. You change the world by changing yourself. All right.
What happens is that you apply the law, and then the conditions change spontaneously.
You apply the law, and the conditions change spontaneously. That's wild, ain't it? You got that much power? All right, let's roll.
You cannot change conditions directly. You have often tried to do so and failed. But go on the 7-day mental diet and conditions must change for you.
Oh man, conditions must change for you when you go on a 7-day mental diet. And the reason why is because everything's a process. you did that habit so long of thinking a certain way, you got to give yourself time to think another way. But once that law is implied, that's the law of the universe. It's automatically going to change the conditions. Oh man, that's why people are out there chasing money all the time, trying to change it and make the money coming. I don't even try harder. I get what I want because I understand the law. That's all we're doing is keeping universal laws. And then you find out you don't even need much no way. You don't even need to cry for nothing. We self-sustaining. Let's roll with it.
This then is your prescription.
This is prescription. Because what he's saying is, for him to give somebody a prescription, that means you must be sick. Mentally. That's the mental illness. Let's roll with it.
For 7 days, you must not allow yourself to dwell for a single moment on any kind of negative thought.
Oh man, for 7 days. For any moment, do not dwell on any negative thought. That's hard, ain't it?
It's easy.
Well, it's easy.
It's effortless.
It's effortless. I like how you said that.
It is. It really
It
is.
is easy.
Yeah.
For 7 days, just don't dwell on it. And see, like the old folks used to say, just because birds fly over your head don't mean you have to let them make a nest there. Yes, the thoughts is thinking a certain way. Just don't dwell on it. All right, here we go.
You must watch yourself for a whole week as a cat watches a mouse.
You must watch yourself like a cat watches a mouse. You ever see a cat watch a mouse? He be just like this, focused. That's how you got to watch yourself. You got to put yourself under subjection. All right, let's roll.
And you must not, under any pretense, allow your mind to dwell on any thought that is not positive, constructive, optimistic, kind.
Now listen at that. So you must watch your thoughts on that level. Some people, that's hard for. That's why I said it's hard. Some people, even if you talk the positive message, the next thing come out of their mouth, they bring that frequency right back again. Now ain't nothing wrong with them, but they need to go through the process. It takes time. Everybody just at different levels, but it can be done. Let's roll with it.
This discipline will be so strenuous that you could not maintain it consciously for more than a week. But I do not ask you to do so.
All right, he said it's so strenuous. He don't ask you to do it more than a week. Because we've been like what we say about food. People are professional eaters because they've been eating all their life, right? So it's the same with our thought process. You've been thinking that way all your life.
Professional negative thinkers.
Yeah, negative thinkers. Right, all their life.
And the pros.
Right, they pros at it. They good. Oh, the bus missed me again. And, you know, they just can't help it. But he don't ask you to go no more than a week. Just monitor yourself for a week. All right, here we go.
A week will be enough, because by that time, the habit of positive thinking will begin to be established.
It will begin to be established. At least give yourself, just like anything, love yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give yourself time. So even when you're talking about this week, it don't mean it's going to be the last one. You might have to jump in again the next month. You know what I mean? This is what it's all about. It's about spiritual cultivation, energetic cultivation. And your thoughts is energetic. They got to be transformed and changed. All right.
Some extraordinary changes for the better will have come into your life, encouraging you enormously, and then the future will take care of itself.
The future will take care of itself. Because remember we said, your present thinking is already dictating your future. So therefore, if you are or your present thinking monitor your thoughts like a mouse, like a cat watching a mouse, and you're changing your thoughts, it just changed your future. All right.
The new way of life will be so attractive.
A new way of life will be so attractive. All right.
And so much easier than the old way that you will find your mentality aligning itself almost automatically.
Oh, man. In other words, you'll love it. That's how you cross over. See, we read the scriptures and make it all spooky. God brought them into the promised land. What they talking about? Brought you into a new thought process. That's how you get in the promised land. Ain't that something? I mean, there's breakfast places all around here. I ain't wake up and go to no breakfast place. I think differently. So therefore, my body's healthy. I ain't aching and paining. Got to go take a nap right now and back hurting and feet. Got to go lose some weight, high blood pressure. You want a whole nother thought. But this goes along with the Breatharian message. If you don't change your thought, you're not going to cross over. All right, let's roll.
But the 7 days are going to be strenuous. I would not have you enter upon this without counting the cost.
Got to count the cost. Now, this is some of the cost it's going to be. because your mind is so closely to you and it's closely on the reality you already created. Listen to what he's going to say, because things might seem negative in the beginning. You know how people say they started cleaning up their life or they came into a new thought process and it seemed like things was going negative and they say God was just testing them? Well, that's how they looking at it, but that ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just that your thoughts is changing, you change your lifestyle, and the old things that needed to be moved is moving so new things can come in. Let's go ahead with it.
Mere physical fasting would be child's play in comparison, even if you have a very good appetite.
Right, so physical fasting is child's play compared to what's about to take place. Go ahead and read it.
The most exhausting form of army gymnastics, combined with 30-mile route marches, would be mild in comparison with this undertaking.
Wow, it's easier to work out than to deal with your physical mind. Do a physical workout. All right, let's roll.
But it is only for 1 week in your life,
Just 1 week,
and it will definitely alter everything for the better.
and it will alter everything for the better. That's the laws of the universe. That's why I always say the universe is user-friendly. It's going to take you into a life that's going to, what? Better you and sustain you, because that's the rules. Yeah, there's rules. Don't think just that the government is making rules. Forget them. You got the rules of the universe. You keep the rules of the universe first, and man-made laws come second. That's people's problem. All right, let's roll.
For the rest of your life here, for all eternity in fact, things will be utterly different and inconceivably better than if you had not carried through this undertaking.
Uh-huh.
Do not start it lightly. Think about it for a day or two before you begin. Then start in, and the grace of God go with you.
So what he's saying, think about what you're about to do for a minute. He's giving you a timeout. So it's just like the Breatharian journey when people jump into it. I say, why you want to be a Breatharian? Think about it for a minute. Think about what you're about to get yourself into. Same thing, because it's a thought process again. So take a couple days out, take a deep breath. You might have to go have Jesus' Last Supper. Right, all that good stuff. Because you're about to go on a journey. All right, that's why we call it the Breatharian journey. This ain't no game. All right, let's roll.
You may start it any day in the week and at any time in the day. First thing in the morning or after breakfast or after lunch, it does not matter. But once you do start, you must go right through for the 7 days.
Right. You can start anytime, but when you do start, at least make a commitment to go through for 7 days. Let's roll.
That is essential.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea is to have 7 days of unbroken mental discipline in order to get the mind definitely bent in a new direction once and for all.
That's something, ain't it? Discipline, temperance. See, people come into these journeys and they ain't got no discipline. And you need some masters or getting at you under your skin. You understand? You can read this till you blue in the face. They know what to say.
Yeah. I have a question. My question is so what if you just become completely empty in thought? Would that be breaking the fast?
There ain't no such thing.
I mean, like, we just become so still that there's barely any thought.
Well, I know that sound good.
Yeah.
But you don't ever try to stop your heart, do you?
It just happens.
So why we want to stop the organ called the mind or the brain? It's designed to run energy. Now, what happens in meditation, the thoughts lower themselves when you relax. You follow me? But let's move that out of our mind, that all of a sudden it's just going to be this clean slate. That's not talking realistic. You know what I mean? What we're saying is it's just like clouds passing on the sky. Just don't grab onto them. Just observe them. Because we are subjective and also objective creatures. You can observe your thoughts. That's what we're saying. I know it sounds good, because we done made all those rules up in spirituality. That's why ain't nobody ascended. It stuck them with that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So we bringing it back to what? So we got something tangible to work with.
101.
Yeah, so
101.
So this thought fast, even if you just stop thinking even good thoughts and you're just observing everything. would that
You
be-
observing it.
That's good still?
That's good.
All right. I'm just checking
Absolutely.
myself.
Just don't grab onto it.
Yeah.
The cat up in a tree crying and you like, he might break his leg. I mean, just let him cry for a minute till you get off your 7 days. He'll get down.
Yeah. It's fine. He could probably use it. A little time
He
a
probably
day.
could use it. He need to lose some weight. That's why he couldn't get down. All right. Keep reading.
There must be no jumping on and off, as it were.
Don't jump on and off, though. Be consistent. This is how we start training ourselves. Like how we did the meditation just now. We was high just now, wasn't we? But we staying consistent day after day. And it's getting better and better, ain't it?
Yeah.
But we working as a team. We staying consistent. We Jedi. We working with the Force. That's what we do. We light beings. But we're helping each other to what? Build a discipline, build some temperance, and building our knowledge so we can transform ourselves. All right, let's roll.
You remember that Rip Van Winkle in the play would take a solemn vow of teetotalism and then promptly accept a drink from the first neighbor who offered him one, saying calmly, "I won't count this one."
Right.
Well, on the 7-day mental diet, this sort of thing simply will not do.
Yeah, you can't do it like Rip Van Winkle. All right.
You must positively count every lapse, and whether you do or not, nature will.
Right. So in other words, you must monitor yourself thoroughly. But even if you don't, nature gonna make sure it doesn't. Nature don't make mistakes. I tell people sometimes that the universe don't make mistakes. They try to say, yeah, it do, because they still in denial. And I see spiritual people say that. It does not make mistakes. Your body is consecrated under universal law, and the program you're giving out from your body is not lying. Let's roll.
Where there is a lapse, you must go off the diet altogether and then start again.
And then start again. And they just had something that was sad. I guess they had the Aboriginal people from around the planet go to the UN talking about saving nature or something like that. And I said, that's a dang old shame. They don't understand. See, you think nature is just standing by a tree. You are nature. And if you had that much power, you shouldn't be begging nobody to give you some rights in nature. And they don't got it yet. They ain't got the memo. Watch us, with this new knowledge, watch us save nature. Watch us do it, because that's power. We ain't thinking no other way. Let's roll.
Now, in order, if possible, to forestall difficulties, I will consider them in a little detail.
Uh-huh.
First of all, what do I mean by negative thinking? Well, a negative thought is any thought of failure, disappointment, or trouble.
Failure, disappointment, or trouble. That sounds familiar, don't it, for the average person? That's what a negative thought is. Stop thinking failure. What is the other one?
Disappointment.
Disappointment.
Trouble.
And trouble. We got to kill that voice that's in us. All right, let's roll.
Any thought of criticism.
Criticism.
Or spite.
Spite.
Or jealousy.
Jealousy. That's another big one.
Or condemnation of others.
Condemnation of others. And like you, what's her name? Janine? Jenna. She was saying how a person should change their conversation. Stop talking about other people all the time and start talking about yourself. They don't want to listen. They ain't got nothing to do with it. All right, let's roll.
Or self-condemnation.
Or self-condemnation, putting yourself down, which a lot of people do.
Any thought of sickness or accident, or in short, any kind of limitation or pessimistic thinking.
Right. That's what we're talking about. All those thoughts have to go. That's not even the thoughts of God. That's heavy, ain't it? Everything is good. All right, let's roll. That's a vibration.
Any thought that is not positive and constructive in character, whether it concerns you, yourself, or anyone else, is a negative thought.
Wow. That's good, ain't it? And some people really feel that thought process only saying you got to think like that. No, you don't. You can break all of that thought process and get a new habit of thought when you think like that continually. And when you maintain that, God, that higher vibration, that idea, is now walking on the earth. It ain't far-fetched no more. All right, let's roll.
Do not bother too much about the question of classification, however. In practice, you will never have any trouble in knowing whether a given thought is positive or negative. Even if your brain tries to deceive you, your heart will whisper the truth.
Wow, so your brain can't even deceive you after a while. You pick up this new habit, your heart will tell you the truth. Why is that? Because your heart is your brain. Your gut is your brain and your heart is your brain. They start kicking in because they're at a higher vibration now. Those are the what? Brains of God. They've kicked in now. So it won't even let you think wrong. It'll tell you. All right, let's roll.
Second, you must be quite clear that what this scheme calls for is that you shall not entertain or dwell upon negative things.
Uh-huh.
Note this carefully. It is not the thoughts that come to you that matter, but only such of them as you choose to entertain and dwell upon.
Right. So it ain't the thoughts that come to you that matter. It's the ones you choose to entertain. Let's roll with it.
It does not matter what thoughts may come to you, provided you do not entertain them. It is the entertaining or dwelling upon them that matters.
Uh-huh.
Of course, many negative thoughts will come to you all day long. Some of them will just drift into your mind of their own accord, seemingly, and these come to you out of the race mind.
Now see how he's talking normal now? He ain't saying no thoughts at all. You're going to be in some no thought state. He said they'll be there. They might come out of nowhere. They got nothing to do with you because we live in a realm where we're affecting each other. You can pick up somebody just through synergy, their negative thoughts, but it ain't coming from you. You just picked it up. That's why all of us are psychic. But he's saying just don't, that's normal. Just let it go. It ain't got nothing to do with you. All right, let's roll.
Other negative thoughts will be given to you by other people,
Here we go. That's what I said.
either in conversation or by their conduct, or you will hear disagreeable news, perhaps by letter or telephone, or you will see crimes and disasters announced in newspaper headings.
Right. I was at this one airport and they had the TV on, and I stood in front of that TV for 2 minutes, and all I see was negativity after negativity. It was the blues report. It wasn't even the news. It was the straight blues report.
I like that.
I can see why people think it negative through the television.
You're just dwelling on it.
Wow. All right.
These things, however, do not matter as long as you do not entertain them. In fact, it is these very things that provide the discipline that is going to transform you during this epoch-making week.
Epoch-making week. You're going to change your life through a thought process. So that's why tomorrow, when we wake up on our retreat, we already been doing it, but we're going to think straight up positive. We're going to surfing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're going to be jamming for real.
It's gonna be smooth.
It's going to be smooth.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll.
The thing to do is, directly when the negative thought presents itself, turn it out.
Turn it out.
Turn away from the newspaper. Turn out the thought of the unkind letter or stupid remark or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
When the negative thought floats into your mind, immediately turn it out and think of something else.
I had a friend of mine, I guess some guy gave her a letter, and she said, I better not read it now. I said, well, you know it's going to be negative. Don't even pick it up. You know what it's about. But they couldn't help it. Right. As soon as they read it, guess what? It changed their whole disposition. I had to cool them down again. First of all, you shouldn't have opened it. You know what it was going to say. And then number two, now you got to what? Put this to practice. See, you got to learn to put things to practice. Knowledge is one thing, but if you don't put it to practice, see, the application of correct knowledge is what make you wise. So yes, negative news will come, but you got to know how to squash it and put it back in its place. All right.
Best of all, think of God as explained in the Golden Key. A perfect analogy is furnished by the case of man who is sitting by an open fire when a red-hot cinder flies out and falls on his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
If he knocks that cinder off at once, without a moment's delay, to think about it, no harm is done.
Right.
But if he allows it to rest on him for a single moment, under any pretense, the mischief is done, and it will be a troublesome task to repair that sleeve. So it is with a negative thought.
That's what's happening. You hit the cinder off right away, there's no damage done. But if you let it sit there, it's going to burn you. That's what's happening. And that's what we call hell. See, hell, where they showed you those pictures where Satan had everybody and they're being burnt by fire, but they're being burnt by their thought process of pain and suffering. That's what's happening. So that's the image of hell. It's a thought process that a person is living in misery. They're being burnt by their own thought process. All right, let's roll.
Now, what of those negative thoughts and conditions which it is impossible to avoid at the point where you are today? What of the ordinary troubles that you will have to meet in the office or at home? The answer is, that such things, negative experiences or conditions, will not affect your diet provided that you do not accept them by fearing them, by believing them, by being indignant or sad about them,
Here we go.
or by giving them any power at all.
So you got to stand up to some things that's just negative and that come your way. Don't even accept it like that. Right? Not today.
Well, I don't like chicken.
Right. You got to stand up to it. That's what he said, right? And dealing with the laws of the universe, it won't affect you. That's what we're dealing with. That's where you know. See, we've been making the scriptures spooky. That's where you have the protection of God. It's through an idea. When you keep that idea of the higher vibration, no negativity in the physical realms will be able to touch you. Did I say that?
You did.
Oh, man. This is good, ain't it? All right, let's roll.
Any negative condition that duty compels you to handle will not affect your diet. Go to the office or meet the cares at home without allowing them to affect you. None of these things move me, and all will be well.
All will be well.
Suppose that you are lunching with a friend who talks negatively. Do not try to shut him up or otherwise snub him. Let him talk, but do not accept what he says,
Don't even accept what they're saying.
and your diet will not be affected.
See, he's giving us the keys, ain't he? Put it to the test. Right.
It's true.
It's true.
On point.
Right on point. All right, let's roll.
Suppose that on coming home you are greeted with a lot of negative conversation. Do not preach a sermon, but simply do not accept it.
Mm-hmm.
It is your mental consent, remember, that constitutes your diet.
That's why they show us those movies. You ever see those movies like a vampire can't come into your house till you let them in? It's dealing with thoughts. They can't come in until you let them in.
Yeah, they have to be invited.
They have to be invited. So you're inviting thoughts in to take over your house. And then that's when you get affected. All right, let's roll.
Suppose you witness an accident or an act of injustice. Let
Mhm.
us say, instead of reacting with pity or indignation, refuse to accept the appearance at its face value. Do anything that you can to right matters. Give it the right thought and let it go at that. You will still be on the diet.
You'll still be on the diet. You're giving us the keys. And the thing about this pamphlet by Emmett Fox, even though he seemed like he's doing a lot of reading, it was this big. It was something like 25 pages or something. See, a big book that tells truth don't have to be big. When you see all those big books, those are nothing but fillers and they just run in their mouth.
Yeah, they are. Intellectual fools.
That's all it is, intellectual fools. All you need is just the basics, like we were saying, and just work from there. You got it.
Of course, it will be very helpful if you can take steps to avoid meeting during this week anyone who seems particularly likely to arouse the devil in you. People who get on your nerves or rub you up the wrong way or bore you are better avoided while you are on the diet.
Now look at that language you just used. People who are arouse the devil in you. See, we're used to saying that again. We could call somebody a devil or you get the devil rose up in you. But how about people who arise the God up in you? That's something, ain't it? To pull the goodness out of you. So you can, function differently. That's what we're talking about.
But if it is not possible to avoid them, you must take a little extra discipline, that is all. Suppose that you have a particularly trying ordeal before you next week. Well, if you have enough spiritual understanding, you will know how to meet that in a spiritual way. But for our present purpose, I think I would wait and start the diet as soon as the ordeal is over. As I said before, do not take up the diet lightly, but think it over well first.
And notice he used the words, if you got enough spiritual understanding. I know everybody think they spiritual and they got spiritual understanding. A breatharian is a person who's good at energy work. So they have energetic understanding. If you ain't there, right, wait till certain things get proper before you can start, using the energy level that you're at. Don't overdo it. That's basically what they're saying.
You don't overexert yourself.
Don't overexert
You just
yourself.
fall back even further.
Because there's some powerful energies out there. If you ain't ready for it, don't even put yourself in that mix until you get stronger working with these energies. All right.
In closing, I want to tell you that people often find that the starting of this diet seems to stir up all sorts of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as though everything begins to go wrong at once. This may be disconcerting, but it really is a good sign. It means that things are moving, and it is not that the very object we have in view. Suppose your whole world seems to rock on its foundation. Hold on steadily, let it rock, and when the rocking is over, the picture will have reassembled itself into something much nearer to your heart's desire.
Now listen at that. Things will seem like they will get rocky at times when you go on that new mental diet. That's not nothing new. What will happen when people food fast? Wasn't on the beginning of the retreat, somebody was talking about their back hurting, their leg hurting. About the third or fourth day, I don't feel it no more. Same thing. When you deal with the mental fasting, things start rocking in your life. But if you sit back, he said, when everything sort itself out, there's a clear picture that's going to bring you closer to your heart's desire. That's why I was just talking to a friend that they had one idea and I had another idea. But I looked at it, it wasn't about no debate or argument. After this is over, everybody's going to have their heart desire because I know what's about to happen. Ain't no use of forcing nothing. We will all have our heart's desire after this is over. That's powerful, ain't it?
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Tata.
All right, let's roll.
The above point is vitally important and rather subtle. Do you not see that the very dwelling upon these difficulties is in itself a negative thought, which has probably thrown you off the diet? The remedy is not, of course, to deny that your world is rocking in appearance, but to refuse to take the judgment, or to refuse to take the appearance for the reality.
Right.
Judge not according to appearances, but judge righteous judgment.
All right. So they waving at us, they feel this energy. All right, we can quit right there. We got enough. Y'all got enough?
I am enough.
You are enough.
Yeah.
We got it now. It's all in the thought process. So that's why when I say this is 100% mental, I mean that. Now some people say, how about the emotional? Well, what is emotion? Emotion is a thought process, but it's just more highlighted. You know when a person say, I'm emotional?
Their energy is just emotion.
Right, it's emotion. It's emotion. It's just something that you highlighted on more. It's still a thought.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be emotional like that.
What is emotion?
Yeah, what is that?
Enthusiasm?
A word we made up. Here we get intellectual animals. Oh man, this was good again.
Very good.
So, boy, we've been doing it, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've been working with these energies, feeling good, getting the mental understanding, taking the physical body along with us.
This is key information today.
Key information.
Yeah.
And I got some more stuff to show y'all. So right now it's about what, 3 o'clock?
Yes.
So we can head on back. And some other people supposed to meet us. You know, the lady that was with us last night. So we can meet again about 7.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I got this video to show y'all. It's
right.
still dealing with the mental mind. We got to get this. And once you master the vehicle, that's all it is, of your thought, you can do anything. That's
right.
powerful, ain't it?
It's super powerful. It's supercharged.
Supercharged.
It's like,
One more. Boy, we've been charged up, haven't we? We just shook the whole universe. That's our thought. Consciousness, the expansion of it. So once again, we're going to do our thing.